we're hybrid. So you could say our call center is legacy, and our cloud is our more modern platform that we're moving to. So if you look at the IT team today, they're handling two different platforms. If they're doing testing, they're doing it two different platforms with the same testing. So what we're doing is we're moving all of our data to the cloud, especially on the application end. And in order to do that, we're also integrating AI capability in the back end because we know this is where the world is going. And with our e-commerce platform and our apps, including our apps, our call center apps, everything we're planning and integrating AI within the next 2 to 3 years. And we're starting this year to do that as well. I talked about conversational AI for a call center. That will be integrated in there. We're looking at agent assistant for our agents when they're taking call. I think there's always going to be a call center. Someone's going to always want to talk to a human. That's not going to go away as much as we want it to go away. But how do you assist the agent in helping the customer understand that customer, that repeat customer? So those are the areas we're thinking of. At the store end as well, where most of our services are in the cloud. If you look at any piece of stores, from an IT perspective, it's a shell. Nothing resides at our store level. Everything goes back into the cloud. So we manage that as well. If you look at our digital menu boards, everything is AI driven based on our marketing, and we're pushing that more and more. So I think, we talk about AI native. I wouldn't say we're AI native as yet, but we're also thinking anything we move forward with, it will include AI, especially at the data side of things.
I think it's the initial step. I would say before we even get to AI, I think the first is the executive sponsorship. You got to be ready as an organization to go to the cloud, take the data to the cloud, and be comfortable with it as well. Because there's a lot of governance, there's a lot of guardrails that you have to put across, there's lots of policies that you have to do as well. But as you continue to take on the cloud native journey, essentially your data resides in that particular hyperscaler as well. So as you're going to continue to mature within the hyperscaler, now you can start to use infused tools, and i.e. AI and ML as part of the hyperscalers to accelerate your AI journey from that perspective onward. I think, Amar, you mentioned that, for example, you're in BigQuery, you're a Looker, and you're leveraging those tools to drive AI and ML as part of that. You'll probably do Vertex AI as part of that to drive your agent framework as well. So the tools are there. And I guess the way I look at it is two sides of the coin. Heads, I would say, is the hyperscalers, that they're going to build the model for you. Tail, you will do the adoption. Now you're on the other side of the coin to actually adopt and actually migrate onto the AI native tools as well.
We all have to actually be able to operate in a vendor-centric world. And if you don't get your legal team on board, and if you don't get your risk team on board, and if you don't understand that it's a game of partnership, then you'll lose. And so it's great to be a technologist, but guess what? You got to be those other things too.
We have a legacy 40-year-old AS400 based system. And our risk is people, right? You can't get the skill sets, the programming languages, the function, all that. So we thought, well, and remember what I said about AI looking for a solution? Well, this was a solution looking for AI. So we said, how are we going to deal with that risk? And we wanted to generate documentation. So we thought, well, we're going to try Copilot. Well, that's not going to do it. It's not good enough. So we took a module, we went out to ChatGPT, and actually it produced something very valuable. And so then we thought, well, we need to make this more private. So the team has set up this. So now we're able to generate documentation from our modules, basically on the AS400, that are pretty good output. And so the intent is we'll end up getting this all documented. I give it a 75% rating of the quality of output, and then you have adjustment. So we're doing that for a very valid reason, and then we're applying AI, and then we're modifying our cloud environment to be able to handle that. So thanks for that answer.
There's a distinct difference between roll your own and use your own. So it's very little, it's not valuable to you to download a model, implement it in your environment, change it, tweak it, modify the code, because now you're responsible for it. There are way too many innovations and it's way too fast for that not to want to be replaced at some point. Your best bet is to use your own. put it in an area that's secured, that has the appropriate gating, that has the appropriate ACL, access to your tools, but it's replacing. I can go back to the garden and grab the new version of it instead of now having to do code to use the new version.
We all have technology debt, which heavy compute days for hundreds, whatever, if you, especially acquisitions. And if you, the beauty is that you can get, like, for example, Azure on-prem to sit right beside your AS400. So now you've got a gated, it's being updated, and you don't have to worry about the compute cost, because you would never be able to afford the compute cost if you move that system.
The vendor manages it.
And the vendor manages it, right? So, and GCP is the same, right?
Yeah.
They Gemini is on-prem. So we have like series of warranty data in AWS Glacier, but through our virtual private cloud, because that's where we house our technical debt, we use Megaport to direct connect to AWS, so we don't go through the public internet. So it's just like it's a drive beside you, right? And it's a cost, but the cost of having that data accessible for
You
everything.
need to pay somewhere.
Right, and it actually works very well, right? So, and it's got AI built in if you want to leverage that.